Hey guys, Szechuan Gaming here, and welcome to another episode of Pokemon Duel. I just wanted to make a quick video, as I've seen a lot of confusion in the Pokemon Duel community about monthly rankings and the ladder and positions, and I've seen a lot of people saying, I'm in, I'm 600th on the leaderboard, but I don't want to play any more games in case I lose and then fall outside of that, and when people have tried to explain that it takes your highest monthly rank, people find that very confusing because after they lose a game, they see their rank dropping by like 20 to 40 points or whatever. So I'm here to hopefully try and clear that up with an actual visual example. And I'll touch on tanking and why people tank as well. As you can see, I have tanked as my overall rating at the top there is now 1551, but I'll come on to that in a minute. So the main thing is, this is your LO, the ELO 1551, and this number here affects what you get in your boosters. So in this league, Mewtwo, Mew and Chestnut would be added to the timed boosters. As you move up in leagues, these Pokemon get added to them. So what you sacrifice by tanking this particular number is what is in the boosters. And as you increase this and you get up to Masters League, there's a lot more EXs basically in your timed boosters, so you're more likely to get an EX. That's all it is. Now, that's the first number, that top one there. The second number to worry about is when you click on this rankings button. Now, as you can see, the number on the left, so if you see Szechuan there, it's got the blue ribbon. The number just above my head, the 692, is where I am in a list from the highest person to the lowest person on the ladder. And this is your, I call that monthly position, and the number next to it on the blue ribbon, the 2580, is the monthly ranking, not your overall rating, which we saw on the home screen. This is the monthly ranking. Now, this number does not change when you lose a game. This number takes the highest you have ever been at in monthly ranking and saves it. So the highest I have ever been is 2580. Now when I was at 2580, my overall rating that we saw on the home page, I'll go back to it now to be clear, this number at the top was 2,900 and something. I think it was like 2,910. When that was at 2,910, my ranking, my monthly ranking, was 2580. And I was something like, I was roughly in 600 position because it was only the other day. I was in 600 position. Now, I lost a lot of games on purpose, and I'll come on to why I did that in a few minutes. But I lost a lot of games on purpose, and the number still says 2580. The only thing that's changed is instead of having a pink ribbon, it went to a red ribbon, and then a gold ribbon, all the way down to the blue ribbon. But the number 2580 stayed the same. Now, I was at around 600th in position, and I'm now at 692. That is not because I forfeited any games. That's nothing to do with losing games, because I'm still on 2580. All that means is 92 people managed to take over or a score of 2580, so they're at like 2581 or 2582 or 2600, whatever. People went past 2580, so for every person or people that get past 2580 to 2581, it not puts me down a place, so I'd go to the 693rd position, 694th position. So people are saying, you know, like they don't want to keep playing because they're dropping, you know, 200 ranks every 24 hours. Well, yeah, you will drop 200 ranks every 24 hours because people are going to overtake you, and that's why you don't start tanking until you're at a point where you think there's not going to be enough time left for that many people to overtake me, so that I'll get dropped out of the bracket for my booster rewards that I want. So in the top bracket, it's the first 1,200 people. I was at 600 when I decided to start tanking, and that's quite risky. You know, with a day left, will 600 people overtake me? They might do, but I'd already lost a few games and I couldn't be bothered to win them back to try and get above 2580. So this kind of addresses another question that people always ask: is they're winning games but their position is going down. Well, what's happened is you've lost maybe 5 games in a row or something, or 2 games in a row, whatever. You've lost a few games in a row. Now, when you win or lose a game, there's a screen that comes up after the match, and I'll go to it in a minute. And it's got your ELO number, your LO number at the top. And it's got a different number at the bottom, which I think it calls ranking, but we'll have a look in a minute. And that number is not the same as this 2580. It might be the same as 2580, and if it was at 2580 and I won a game, then it would go to, like, you get like plus 20, so it would go to 2600, and I would move up from 692. I'd move ahead of all the people who are on 2580 still, all the people who are on a 2581, and so on up to 2600, and it might put me in like 500th position. But that is only if the number is 2580 on the win-loss screen after a match. If I lost the match, the number on the win-loss screen would go down 20, and it would say 2560, 2560, right? And when I come back to this screen, it would still say 2580 here. But then, if I was to win a game, on the win-loss screen, that number that said 2560 you don't gain as much for a win as a loss. It might gain 10, for example. So it would go up to 2570. Well, it still hasn't got back to 2580, which is on this screen. So I'm not going to move up in positions, and I won't move up in positions until I get back to 2580. So a lot of people haven't just fallen 10 or 20 under, they've fallen 100, 150 ranking points under their highest that they've ever got, and they win 2 or 3 games in a row, and they're like, well, why aren't I going up? And I used to think that as well. I used to think, you know, what's going on? Now, to prove this, that not playing does not benefit you at the end of the season, I'm going to lose a game right now, and we're going to watch what happens. So, I'm at 692 on 2580. Now, we'll go to the league, and that's on 1551, right? And we'll hit play. Because if you're someone that doesn't want to drop out of the bracket, you may as well play, because you're not going to lose you're not going to lose out on anything by losing the match. You've just got to work even harder to try and increase your rank, but your rank won't be dropping down. But if you just leave it and do nothing, then you're just relying on people, you know, overtaking you. Right, so I'll quickly forfeit this, and we'll see what happens. So you see now, look, this is right. Oh yeah, I'll go on to why people tank. So my opponent is 1548, so they're in the same league as me. So that's we'll come on to why we tank in a minute. So just forfeit this match, right? So we can get the important screen, the elusive screen that you can't see when you're trying to explain ranking to people. You actually only see this screen after you win or lose a match. Right. So the top thing, the rating, that is the number that's on your home page. So mine just dropped down from 1551 to 1521. The number at the bottom is called monthly rating. Now, when we clicked on that rankings tab, it was called monthly ranking. These are different numbers. Now, people think because this number just went down 25, their number on the ranking page will go down 25 and they'll lose positions. But you won't lose any positions, and that number will not have gone down. This is the monthly rating number. Mine's on 1357. Now, my position was 600 and something, I can't remember now, I'll look in a minute. If I want that number to go up, I have to get this monthly rating all the way back to 2580, and I need to get to 2581 or more for it to go up. So if I win a game now, I'm not going to go up in positions, but if I lose a game, I'm not going down in positions. The only reason I'm going down in positions is because other people have managed to get their monthly rating, this number here, higher than their ranking number. None of this would be a problem if you never lost a game. If you always won, the numbers would always be the same and they'd always keep going up. It's when you lose, this monthly rating drops down, but the other one stays where it is. And if you keep losing, that gap gets bigger and bigger, which is why I've got such a big gap, because I've been losing on purpose. So, you've just seen my monthly rating go down 25 points. Now we'll go back to the ranking screen, and it will still say 2580. There you go, 2580, and I'm still 692nd place. Losing does not disadvantage you. You may as well keep playing. If you just sit there and do nothing, people will overtake you. If you play and lose, people will overtake you at the same rate. But if you do manage to win, and win enough to the point where your monthly rating gets up to where this monthly ranking is, 2580, if I won enough to get back to 2580, then I have a chance to even get higher. So, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, kind of, when you're at the 30,000, you may as well have a guess, because you don't lose the money, you're at a save point. That is probably a terrible example, but it's the one that popped into my head. So, now I'm going to go and beat the bug bot and show you again, it just doesn't matter. And then I'll quickly talk about tanking, and then I'll wrap it up. But that's the gist of it, guys. You need to, if you're confused, write the numbers down. That's how I figured it out for myself, because there's so many people saying different things. Now I know a lot of people do, they have got their head around this now, and that's good, but it is hard to explain to other people how this works, especially just in text. It really is. I mean, it is confusing. I'm not having to go at anyone. It's a confusing thing, but it's yeah. So, what on earth is this bug bot doing? I have never seen this in my life. It's actually playing defensively. I just don't believe this. Unless this is a person imitating Bugbot, but I find that extremely unlikely. There we go. Right. Let's come around here and hope they don't defend the goal. If they don't defend the goal, this is definitely a bug. Yeah. Okay. Right. So this time we won a match. So let's see what happens with the numbers now. Right. So it's gone up 36. Right, sorry, I thought the video had stopped then because I'd run out of space on my computer. So I'm going to have to wrap it up quick. It's gone up by 36. Monthly rating is now 1393. If we go back to the rankings page, it'll still say 2580 because I haven't won enough games to get back to 2580. And that's why people say it takes your highest rank. They mean this 2580, that's the highest I've ever been at, and that's the one it takes. Now, really quickly, tanking. If you've got a really high score and you're at the top of the leaderboard, your LO number, the one on the home page, is really high, and that's how you match up your opponents. So you see this person, number 7, they've tanked down to the green one. So mine used to say, 2900 at the top here, and when it resets at the end of the month, all these rankings where I've got 2580 and everyone else see they've got 2581, all of those numbers go back to 1500. But the one on your homepage doesn't change. That will stay. That mine would have stayed at 2900, which means all my matchups at the start of the next month would have been against other people that are like on 2900, really high players. Whereas someone that's down in a lower league would be playing people that are down in a lower league, and it's to make it easier for new players and stuff like that. So what people do is they tank their rank, so they lose loads of games on purpose to get down to, say, like this one now. So when the season starts, my 2580 will go back to 1500, but all the opponents I play will be a lot easier because they'll be from the blue league rather than the pink league. So it lets me climb up higher quicker, and that's what people are doing. And all you're sacrificing to do that is what's in the boosters, which who really cares once you've got a good deck what's in the boosters, and you'll get it back up anyway in no time. So that's why people do it. I know a lot of people say it's pointless, it'll average out, blah blah blah, but whatever. Some people just don't want to grind out loads and loads of games. I personally usually do, but I thought I'd try the tanking this time just because the start of last season was a real slog. That's kind of why people do it. And some people are saying, well, like, won't it affect your monthly rewards? No, because as I've just explained, as you lose, the 2580 doesn't go down. That's locked in. So people try and get as high as they possibly can to a point where they know no one's going to overtake them enough to knock them out of the top 1,200, and then they just tank. They just tank all the way down, and they'll probably drop a few hundred places by the end of the season, but they're still going to get the 30 boosters, and then they can start the next month against easier opponents. So I know this wasn't a quick video, but I hope this has cleared stuff up for you guys. Yeah, so thanks for watching. If you've got any questions still regarding it, throw it in the comments. I'll try and deal with it in text, but hopefully this should have cleared it up for people. Cheers, see you in the next episode.